Hey everybody, welcome to the MMA podcast. I'm Karyn Bryant.
And I'm Pete Cummins.
He's kind of a big deal. He just found that out. Your old friend, you had a friend from childhood who...
I just found out that among podcasts, we're pretty good.
Okay.
We're pretty good. Top 10 maybe? Top 10 among UFC podcasts?
I hope so. Well, we're not just we cover MMA in general, so
in
you
general.
know.
Top 5.
Yeah, top 5 female-hosted, hog co-hosted podcasts that shoot usually on Mondays, but sometimes on Tuesdays.
We also talk about our kids sometimes. I think we're the #1 podcast talking about our kids.
We are collectively, though I will say this, the smartest podcast. We won't tell you why, but if you looked it up, you'd go, oh snap, really? I had no idea.
However,
which is kind of sad that people...
Not necessarily in mixed martial arts knowledge,
right.
actually.
But if you...
I think I'd bring us down a bit.
No, we're good. Of course, today, talking about UFC 187. So round 1, we'll talk about DC and Rumble. We'll talk about DC and Bader in round 2. Round 3, we'll cover Weidman, Belfort. Round 4, we'll kind of talk about some of the other things that stood out, especially Mr. Andrei Arlovski. And in round 5, high five.
High five. We're going to have a little fun to see which of today's fighters might be tomorrow's announcers. You know, so who's sort of standing out as sort of making some memorable quotes following what I think was the best fight card since I've been watching the UFC, which has only been a year, but in the past year, was there a better fight card this past year?
In this past year, I don't think so. In fact, in the media room, we were talking about some, and I have to go back. There was a couple years ago, there was one that was just like, ridiculous again. Right. And it might have been, again, a Memorial Day weekend when they usually do try hard on the Memorial Day ones and like the big fight week ones to put on a good show. So, no, this was fantastic. So, obviously, the main thing here to start off here in round 1 is congratulations to Daniel Cormier. He is our new UFC light heavyweight champion, and I mean, this dude. When you want to personify pure joy, the look on his face when he won, the look on his face at the press conference, it's pure joy. He has worked so hard for this, and obviously I work with a guy. I really care for DC a lot. He's a wonderful guy. I mean, he's giddy with joy, and well-deserved. Obviously it didn't go his way a few months ago with John Jones. And it looked for a minute there, Pete, I was like, oh, DC is getting knocked out really fast. Yeah. That kind of scared me. But he hung in there. He's got a chin.
And you know what? He showed his wrestling, and then that was it. And I mean, I thought Rumble really got gassed in that 3rd round. And, the 2nd round was huge for, after the 2nd round, I'm like, I think DC's got this comfortable now. Yeah. But it was a little touch and go.
It was really touch and go. Rumble won the 1st round on the cards, 10-9, but literally, getting that knockdown was obviously huge. And, he's so explosive, comes out with so much power that I'm sitting there with him like, oh God, I wanted it, if DC was going to lose, I wanted him to at least get to fight a little bit more, I didn't. And we had said on this fight, actually, I thought it would be, Rumble by KO or DC by decision, but, he wore him down and got the submission in the 3rd. But listen, for Rumble, though, that was the thing. What you don't want to get in the pocket with this. I mean, the power that he has, the explosiveness, and he had some nice head kicks in there. I thought Rumble was doing some things pretty well. But you wonder, if he was more of a lean fighter, it might help his endurance, but then I don't know how that would affect his power. You know what I mean? I'm not a physiotherapist here or whatever who would understand that, but, a lot of time when guys are very muscular, it exhausts them faster because their body has to pump all that blood and oxygen to the muscles. So.
Well, DC showed that, what a chin.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You train with Cain Velasquez, obviously. Your chin is going to, you could either wear your chin out completely or, at least you know how to toughen yourself up.
And in the last podcast, you showed your interview with him, and he was talking about how doing boxing with Cain was like a pain in the ass, and he hated it, but it just made him that much tougher and more durable. And and man, he showed it. And look at the control time right there.
9 minutes, 30 seconds.
That's an Olympic wrestler against against a slugger.
Right,
right. And that's the difference.
But, you know, and it's funny, though, because, you know, he got 3 takedowns. Rumble actually did get a takedown, too, which was pretty cool. You know, and the thing about Rumble is so funny, too. He afterwards, on Facebook and stuff, was saying to his friends, you know, I'm sorry I let everybody down and this and that. And I even commented, I'm like, dude, you didn't let anybody down. You lost a fight. Like, that's it. You know what I mean?
I was totally let down.
Oh, you're completely let. You're that a-hole. You know, but, you know, Rumble, people are actually, some people thought this was a little funny, though. He says in there, you know, after he submits, after he taps, which, you know, could be rephrased as saying, you know, you know, giving in or whatever. Right. The first thing he says on the mic is, you know, never give up, you know, and keep doing it. And I know some people were like, well, that's ironic because he actually just did give up. But, you know, when you're in a position like that, you have no choice. You got to tap.
Wait, can we put up the last slide?
But I do still think it's great that he, you know, still living for your dream. I think that message is still very positive when you think about where Rumble was a few years ago, out of the UFC, you know, not doing so well, you know, but and then was able to come back.
Look at this: 28 strikes, 23 significant strikes. Okay. I mean, that's the power of that guy.
Yeah. This is like, I still think Rumble wrecks a lot of dudes. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people would still be very nervous to get in there with him.
Listen, it was DC's time. He came in like, it was like when the Red Sox won the series in 2004. They beat the Yankees, and then they're facing the Cardinals, and it's like, St. Louis, just lie down because because you were in front of history rolling.
It's a train. No,
listen, he didn't get it with John Jones, and it was like, well, it's probably his last shot, and then the whole Albuquerque thing happens, and you know, and he gets it. He was destined. He worked his ass off.
Yeah, he did. And you know, it's funny because before the first fight with Jones, he was saying, you know, the reason he wasn't meant to, you know, be the Olympic gold medalist because he was meant to be the UFC champion, and ultimately that did turn out to be, you know, great. And it's interesting, you know, he's not going to wait around for John Jones. You know, DC is 36. It's not like he can fight forever, but it would be interesting depending on how long John is out, if those two ever do get to face each other. Yeah, you know, I mean, great fight.
I want to say too, after the fight,
and around one,
after the fight, a total class act put on by both fighters. I mean, Rumble takes the belt and puts it on DC, and then DC just basically says, John Jones, get your shit together. I'm waiting for you, and walks out.
Drops the mic.
I mean, that was just an acting. And, you know, an acting class by both those guys.
Yeah,
that was very cool.
It was good.
Which brings us to round 2, the press conference.
We'll get to that in a second. DC will be on UFC tonight. You know, we were joking, too. I was tweeting Kenny, like, I'm sure. I actually asked DC at the press conference. I said, okay, DC, you know, what are we supposed to call you? Yeah, they hugged it out at the press conference as well. I said, DC, what are we supposed to call you at work now? And I was told that we are to address him as Champ Cormier now. We can't call him Daniel anymore. He said, no more Daniel. I need to be Champ Cormier. I know he's going to be wearing that belt.
Daniel's the little boy who took all the wounds that made him champ.
Yeah, he's going to be wearing that belt, but well deserved. So it'll be fun to have him in the studio with us tomorrow for UFC tonight. Really looking forward to it.
Now, is that going to be tough for him to find pants with large enough loopholes for the belt? I mean, you put it over the blazer. You put it over more like a cummerbund.
Yeah, exactly.
When we used to fight at Oxford.
Exactly. So at the press conference after, when you want to talk about working the microphone, you know, he had that drop the mic moment in the octagon. So afterwards, you know, Ryan Bader was supposed to fight Daniel Cormier June 6th. They were supposed to fight down in Nolens. Obviously, DC got the opportunity for the title, and Ryan Bader was left without an opponent. So apparently, you know, Ryan obviously still wants his fight, wants his title fight, blah, 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 blah. So there was a little exchange at the press conference. Why don't we take a listen to those? I mean, I know a lot of people are aware of this, but let's take a listen to what happened at the press conference when DC started talking about Ryan Bader.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, you guys, I've been doing this for 5 years, and you guys know that competition drives me. I sat here 5 months ago crying in front of each and every one of you because that guy beat me. So I would love to compete against him. But he's going to be away for a while, so we got to shift our focus. There's somebody else that needs his ass kicked too. I think he's around here. That's Ryan Bader's ass, and I'm going to beat the shit out of him next time. You keep talking, Bader. Keep talking, Bader. Keep talking. Keep talking. This guy's so disrespectful. I'm trying to fight Anthony Johnson, and Ryan Bader's writing me stupid messages on Twitter because he wants people to think that he deserves a title shot. Come on, Ryan. You can come and fight me. You should get your ass kicked like you were going to do in June.
Bring it, buddy.
Okay?
2 fights you got out of.
I didn't get out of any fights. Ryan, I didn't get out of any fights. Not once did I say I didn't want to fight Ryan Bader. I asked him to fight me because I just wanted an easy paycheck. I knew that I wanted to fight you. I asked to fight you multiple times, Bader. Bader, come on. I asked to fight you. They said, Daniel, what do you want? I said, I want the easiest fight in the division. I want Ryan Bader. I want the easiest fight in the division. I want Ryan Bader. Just give me my paychecks right now, baby. Get your ass out of here. This is my press conference. Fuck out of here.
Rumble. Any questions for AJ now? I'm here.
So, I wish DC hadn't dropped the F-bomb at the end. That's one thing I'm going to have to talk to him about tomorrow. But I think that exchange is kind of interesting. While we were sitting there at the press conference, we were all like, "Oh snap!" I don't know what's up with this. It won't be like the Zapruder film, though, whether or not that was staged or organic. I'm going to be, everybody's looking at it, looking at where Bader was, looking at where certain camera people were who were able to capture the moment, whether or not it's real or staged.
Well, and I did notice that, like, the security guards were sort of lax and they're stepping in front. I mean, if you're a security guard and you got to step in front of, Ryan Bader and DC, you should have a look, in your eyes, like, I don't make enough to have to do this.
Yeah, but Ryan wasn't overly aggressive, and Joe Silva's standing there too, and it wasn't overly aggressive. At least DC was up on the dais, and so there wasn't really.
And that's what I'm saying.
The physical contact would have been a little.
It was just sort of.
But the way, I guess the problem is people. The way he's like, and there's one dude standing around here, and his name is Ryan. Right. I don't know. And A, I don't know if it was staged, and B, I don't know if I care. If it was staged.
If you look there, that's the guy there in question.
Okay, so here's Ryan.
And there's a guy.
And here's a UFC cameraman guy here. And here's Shonda, who does the UFC social media. She's in charge of social media. So she put a Vine of it out right away. Right. There's me with my crazy fro. So Wade is up on this riser shooting it. So he actually was close to Bader and was able to get it. But if you do go over this, obviously we have this up on our YouTube channel. The timing is pretty good.
Watch the UFC guy. He's got the camera.
Right. So then he busts this out right away.
And now the third shooter was right up there, right?
Yeah, the book depository. And so it's a little bit, I don't know.
I would say, comparing this to the DC John Jones,
Oh, that was real.
That was real. That was real.
That was real. So I don't know. Regardless, I do think it's pretty funny. He said, "Give me the easiest fight in the division." I was like, "Ouch." That's
so if you were to make a prediction, do these guys fight next? Because the UFC kind of owes Ryan Bader.
Perhaps DC will win. I think DC wins that fight. And I don't think it would be that.
And after fighting John Jones, and Rumble Johnson, maybe deserves an easy one before. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah, I'm not saying Ryan is easy, but I think DC beats him. I think DC beats him. But anyway, I thought that was some excitement at the press conference. It was an interesting night. And Ryan's good friends with Weidman, because some people are like, "Oh, well, why the hell was Ryan even there?" That proves even more that it was staged. But he's friends with Chris Weidman, and so I think. And hey, listen, it's a title fight in his division. He was supposed to fight one guy. It's not unheard of that he would be at that fight.
Yeah, and also let's not forget, like, he got a fight pulled from him.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks.
That sucks.
And so I think maybe, I don't know. I think the UFC does give him a shot.
But Gus is still ranked higher than him, and so you could have DC Gus.
Right.
You know what I mean? It would have been different if Rumble had won, because Gus already lost to Rumble, and da 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 da. With DC winning, it's a little.
But you're right. If you were trying to hype the Bader DC
There you
fight.
go.
This is the type of stage thing.
This is
that you
it.
bring
All
in.
right. So round 3, obviously, we just mentioned the fact Chris Weidman, friends with Ryan Bader. So Chris Weidman, the hashtag and still champ, defeated Vitor Belfort in the first round. So now here was the thing at the press conference. He got up in his face and he accused him of still being a cheater at the weigh-ins and stuff because he says his levels are still too high. Yada 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 yada. Weidman was pissed. So there was this whole thing of going into this fight where you really got the sense that Weidman was going to punish him. Do you know what I mean? That it was finally time after this fight got put off for so long that there was some hardcore punishment going on in this one. And it felt that way, Vitor is such a fast starter, and he proved to be that again. Came out and was really landing some things. It was like, he really tagged Chris pretty well. But then it just went all Chris's way. And I literally, every punch was one of those. I don't never, ever say my name, you dirty, rotten. That's what I felt like that finish was. Just punishment, brutal.
Dude, I
loved it.
I love Chris Weidman. First of all, the fact that he comes out to Tom Petty, won't back down. That's like so Long Island to me because it's it's so obvious, that song, and it's just great. It won't back down. It's like, that's so Long Island. I love it. I love it.
You love it. Well, listen, Weidman actually extends his active winning streak to 9. I have some actual fact here. Pete, slow down.
Nice. We got some fun.
So 9 straight wins, second longest in the UFC. So the longest win streak is John Jones. Second longest is Chris Weidman with 9. Demetrius Johnson and Donald Cerrone both have 8 fight win streaks.
Well, and let's not forget that Weidman's taking down now 3 former champs.
Yeah. Well, Lyoto, Anderson, and Vitor. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of amazing.
So who do you want to see him fight? Jagre or Rockhold?
Luke Rockhold.
Yeah.
Jacare is great, and he's just, he's on recovery. He just had some surgery. I think Jacare would be an awesome fight because, Weidman's such a great wrestler, but Jacare is so dangerous on the ground, too, that, if it's going to be a stand-up fight, Jacare's striking has come quite a long way, but I think, Chris has got some sharp boxing in there. But I think the fight is, Luke versus Chris, they've already hyped that up some. We actually have a fun clip one time when I was talking to we had Weidman on the show with us, and DC gets into it with Weidman and calls Luke. So that's on my channel. I think it's Luke versus Chris. The funny thing is, we talked to Luke Rockhold backstage. He was there, and you can find the interview on my YouTube channel. And he, it's funny. Luke's like, well, Weidman's kind of boring, and he has no pizzazz as a champion, and he's not, he's not interesting enough. And I'm like, so you'd be more interesting and stuff like that? And he's like, well, I think so. And
wait, he didn't answer the question. I think so.
Maybe.
Did he?
That's what I'm saying.
He didn't say, would you be more? Yeah, I think so. No, come on, you got to be more interesting. That's your moment.
Exactly. Again, irony, party of one there, Luke.
Now, Jacare's point is that he's 5-0 in the UFC.
But he's getting shafted, though.
Rockhold's been knocked out.
Right, but Jacare fought Chris Camozzi last. He got screwed because his fight got dropped.
I agree with you. I want to see Weidman versus Rockhold, but there's an argument to be made.
Believe me, there is. But Jacare is getting screwed because his fight, he lost the Romero fight, and so now he had to fight Chris Camozzi, and it was like, okay, well, that doesn't count. That's not going to move you forward at all. So Vitor, only had 1 second of control. Chris had a minute 13. Obviously, it was not a long fight. Chris landing 67% of his significant strikes. Vitor landing 57%.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I mean that's like ground and pound.
That's what I'm saying. Chris landed 50 total strikes. I think 30 of them at least were in the mount there to finish that fight off. I literally want to go back and watch how many unanswered blows there were. And Herb hovering, because Herb's like, I don't want to stop this too soon because it's Vitor. He's legend. He can hang.
Well, Vitor had no answer for him, and he's trying to
dude, you're
punch up at him.
You're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You almost tapped out John Jones with an armbar in the first round. What happened?
Right.
Where did that go? I don't know.
Well, he is 38.
Yeah.
So.
And he used to be on TRT. He's not anymore, and obviously that helped him. You know, I mean, listen, Vitor's had an amazing career. I know people really like to bust on the guy. He's always been cool with me. I don't have a personal problem with Vitor, but I do think at this point, you know, he's got to consider, maybe it's near the end. These young guys now are like ridiculously good. I don't think anybody can hang in there long after mid-30s. Like,
well,
you know.
I mean, I said last week, it's like I think 35 is the cutoff, but I was proven wrong by DC and Andre Arlovski is proven Father Time wrong.
Yeah, so you know it's tricky. You know, I was talking to some of the Brazilian reporters about Vitor and whether or not they thought he was going to retire, and they said no, you know, I don't think so. Like. And I feel like they'll probably give him if he's going to retire, they'll give him a great swan song fight in Brazil, a very winnable, you know, swan song fight that he could do at home. This is kind of funny. I was taking some pictures at the weigh-ins.
By the way, good photos, Karyn.
Oh yes, I did take a.
Karyn keeps the guys in mind when she's got the camera.
I do, and our lesbian fans as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I know you can't hear this on the audio podcast, but Brittany has kind of the moon eyes over Weidman here. She looks a little excited.
And as Wade pointed out, 5 seconds later, she was trying to work that wedding ring off.
No.
Why is it so humid in here? Darn it.
No. So round 4, you mentioned Andre Arlovski.
Wait, I do want to say one thing.
Here's the butt shot that I took for everybody.
Okay, guys, see, this is the extra effort that Karyn goes for you.
I love you. The girls had to turn around because somebody had to weigh in on a towel. I forget who.
That is.
And I thought, well, while I'm here.
I'm a married man. I can't comment at all.
Vanessa has a nice butt.
She does have a nice butt.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I will say that Weidman had the greatest, I guess some Brazilian reporter asked him who wins in Belfort versus Anderson, and he says, who cares?
Who cares, right. Now we know that obviously already happened, and Anderson beat him, but they meant now, you know, they fought again. Because I tweeted that. I tweeted, you know, when asked who would win, he says, who cares? And somebody's like, duh, it's pretty obvious Anderson wins. I'm like, you a-hole. They mean now, not then. We all know that. I was there. It was ridiculous.
But it was so, you know, I mean, there's Chris Weidman getting a little bit more interesting for people who think he's vanilla.
That's what I'm saying. He actually, when you know, if you talk to him off camera, you know, he's not as vanilla as people think he is.
He's shitting a garbage can.
I know.
Come on.
So you were talking about Andre Arlovski, and you were very impressed with this man.
No, I was impressed with both these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, first of all, the first fight on the main card, who is
Joseph
Benavidez
and Moraga, right?
I'm watching that, and I write fight of the night.
Right.
You know, in my notes, I'm like, holy crap, what a fight.
Right.
And then you get the same fight with the same intensity, but now you got the heavy
add 100 pounds,
versus the flyweights.
Actually 100 and something pounds, yeah.
And Travis Brown got TKO'd on his feet. He never went down. No. I take that back. He went down briefly.
Right, and Arlovski kind of wobbled too.
Dude, his knees were shaking the whole time, and that dude never quit, never went down, and even knocked Arlovski down once. And just incredible fight. Both those guys just
really cool. Well,
awesome.
The interesting thing is Arlovski almost didn't get to fight. Apparently something happened with his leg. So he says, man, this is what he said after the fight. Man, I was tired. I almost quit. There were so many punches being thrown, and I was so tired. I am injured. I hurt my leg during my last workout on Thursday. We finished up training, and I told my coach I wanted to go one more round just to test my reactions. We were moving around, and he kicked me on the inside of my shin, and I got a little cocky and started dancing around, and I felt something in my leg. I thought my coach kicked me again, so I asked him, but he said no. I really don't know how it happened, but the UFC doctors were there right away, and they took care of me. I'm really grateful for the care they gave me. So, like, literally, we find out after the fight that they almost said you can't fight because he jacked up his leg. Anyway, the dude looked amazing. And the thing is, we were all saying, we're like, and those two are good friends. Like, could you imagine? So, like, that's insane.
So I said to my friend, I'm watching a fight at a bar, and I go, okay, here's the deal. You get a baseball bat, right? And you get one shot, full, Travis Brown has his hands down, and you just get one shot right at his head, and then it's go time.
Right.
But you get $1 million if you win. Do you take it? And, you know, and these guys were like, okay, do you still get to keep the bat after you hit him? And I go, yes, you get to keep the bat after you hit him. And then everyone's like, no, all right. Yeah. No, all right. And I go, okay, now for $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Same thing. You get to just right on his head. But now he gets a minute to recover. Do you take it? And everyone's like, okay, so, like, does he get the full minute? I go, he gets a full minute to recover. So you're sitting there with a baseball bat, and you're kind of like looking across, and you're seeing him groggy. Right. And then you're seeing him kind of come to, and then you're seeing his eyes focus on you, and everyone said no.
Hell no.
So I think the lesson is, I watched the fights with 3 big pussies.
Real pussies, yeah. No, good for Andre. He told us out. We did a nice pre-fight interview with him, and he smelled, by the way, really good. And it was funny because I was like, oh wow, I don't know what that is, but it smells good. But he said when he left the UFC before, it was a business decision. But now that he's back and he's really going to try to make things happen here. But he's pretty humble about it. I'm like, dude, you're a legend. We have your action figure at home. You're the guy that like so many people point to as the reason that they started watching the UFC. So
the comeback's cool. Incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. It was amazing. So and also that night like Cerrone we did really well. We have a shot at Donald with his 3 beers at the press conference. I love this dude, man. Come on.
Dude, his striking was unbelievable.
Really good. So McDessie, it was funny because at first we didn't really know what happened, and we were still in the media room when this fight was going on. So all of a sudden you see McDessie kind of like timeout. We're like, what kind of wuss calls timeout? Like, you can't call timeout, and the fight gets waved off, and then we realize,
I'll tell you what, Joe Rogan did a great job making sure that everyone realized right from the get-go that like McDessie was hurt. And, because we were all like, oh, fucking pussy.
Totally.
As we were like, is my shrimp ready?
Exactly.
And Joe Rogan was like, no, something's happened.
Right, and so it was actually a close fight. 71 strikes thrown for Donald McDessie through 72. Actually had a higher percentage landing there with 56% landing. So listen, it was a close fight.
That's amazing because the fight did not seem that close. I mean, I gave that first round to Cerrone by a long shot.
But it's interesting, and so it ended at 16 seconds into round 2, and it's funny though because I guess apparently people were saying that if you were sitting close enough, you could really kind of hear the crack of the jaw and stuff. So Cerrone, he said actually after he said, I had no idea what happened. I thought maybe I poked him in the eye or something. I was blown away. I should have wrestled him more, but he made that comment about how good strikers always turn into wrestlers when they face another good striker. So that was in my head a little bit. I'm upset with my performance, but I always am. I don't know what's next. My manager probably won't let me take another fight before I get a title shot, so I guess we'll have to just wait and see. He's very critical of himself.
Wait, he's upset with his
he always thinks he sucked. After you ask him in a fight, he always thinks he sucked.
First of all, if you kick the shit out of me, please don't go, it wasn't really that good. I do have to say one more because there were so many classy moments.
Yes.
Like is that Arlovsky and Travis, who were friends and training partners, like afterwards, I guess Arlovsky said something like, "I'm sorry, man." Yeah. And Travis Brown just said, "Don't ever fucking say you're sorry." I mean, it's like, dude, if you want to know class, you got to watch. You got to watch these guys after the fight.
All right, so we are in high five here, Pete.
High five. All right, high five. Now listen, Karyn.
Yes.
You're an announcer.
Yeah.
And you work with a couple fighters.
I do.
And they're quite good as well. So do you find that people think your job's easy? Do you find, people think your job's easy? Yeah.
Yes.
And
I just make it look easy though, Pete.
Hold on, we're just gonna take a moment to talk more about you, Karyn. So no, you do make it look easy. So anyway, a lot of fighters, obviously, after their career, they're sort of eyeing, being, an announcer.
A lot of people want it. Yes, a lot of people want it.
And so, basically, social media gives some fighters some chances to sort of, show off, how they're, how they announcing. Who's going to be the next Al Michaels? Who's going to come up with that memorable quote? Do you believe in miracles? And so let's see how a couple of our fighters do. So these were all the Brown Arlovsky fight.
Okay.
And see where Ray Borg. Holy shit. Okay.
Maybe not that insightful.
Not that eloquent.
Right.
And so then, not to be outdone, James Krause said, "Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit." And then, you know, Russell Doan, he of course went with "Holy fucking fuck." So it's not easy doing what Karyn does, is what we're saying. And so, you know, forever, you know, I believe that when Howard Cosell said, you know, "Down goes Frazier, down goes Frazier,"
right.
You know, he could have said, "Holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck," but it probably wouldn't have been, you know, wouldn't have been as memorable, you know. And, you know, and Al Michaels could have said, "5 seconds left, holy fucking shit." But he did. He said, "Do you believe in miracles?" You know, even Joe Buck on September 8th, when McGuire hit his 67th home run, he did it. 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 Little different than "Holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck." So, just so then we have so let me see. Okay, but my favorite had to be Beck Rawlings.
Okay,
Beck Rawlings,
Rowdy Beck.
Who Rowdy Beck Rawlings, who holy fuckballs.
I was just gonna say, she's not really known for her tact.
It sounds like Robin from Batman and Robin got drunk. Holy fuckballs, Batman! I just realized that everyone thinks I'm the bitch in the relationship.
Might be your Australian coming out. I don't know. Maybe that.
Why am I wearing tights, Batman?
Exactly.
You touched me in Vermont, Batman. Holy fuckballs. And besides, can I point out that she actually wrote Holly fuckballs. So I'm just saying, if you get invited to a Christmas dinner at the Rawlings household, you might want to watch out, because there's apparently Holly fuckballs around. Holly fuckballs. All right. Now, not going to say there's not room for improvement.
Yes.
Because then later on, James Krause of the infamous Holy Fuck Brigade found his inner writer and actually came up with a great metaphor for the Arlovsky Travis. Two guys slinging paint cans at each other. That's a great metaphor. That's a great metaphor.
Good. I like that.
And then Joe Ellenberger, he also found his inner mailer. That's Norman Mailer.
Norman Mailer, yes.
Cormier is a nasty describement, like a wet iron blanket.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. I like that. I like that. So anyway, these are my two guys. Now, James Krause is a little bit of a loose cannon. You might get the holy fucks, but you know, Joe Ellenberger.
Joe's a little bit more.
So far, you know,
that's good.
You know, but my favorite, my favorite fighting tweeter, pugnacious twittering fighter, I don't know, is Elias Theodoro.
Okay.
Because he says what he thinks, which makes him kind of a dick sometimes. Like his tweet on Uriah Hall's issue isn't lack of aggression, it's what between the ears, this game is all mental.
Okay.
Kind of a
Some
dick.
people think Uriah actually won that fight.
Well, no, he actually thought Uriah won it too.
Okay.
But listen, when everyone was losing their heads, you know, with the Travis Brown Arlovsky slugfest, he actually made a damn good point. How do you not keep your left up when you fight a guy with a devastating right, especially after he tags you 8 times? No, and that was, I mean, Travis had that left down. That was a good point. So, and then I kind of like him because the guy has some humorous ones too. Humorous. Let's see what the Spartan gives us. Maraga's tattoo looks like the Rebel Alliance.
I saw that one.
Can Vitor win? Yes, will he? Only Jesus knows for sure. Really, how does Weidman not come out to Born in the USA?
Yes,
I think that's a good
one
point. And then my favorite, Vitor has embraced his dad bod trend.
Dad bod.
So listen, he's my guy.
You like him?
He's who I tag sitting next to you if you guys
Nice. And by the way, that dad bod thing is total BS fabricated by some marketing dude with a dad bod. Because I'm not buying it.
Listen, I live near West Hollywood, which has a large degree of homosexuals, and they all have 6-packs.
Yeah.
And so now I get to go like, I don't have a 6-pack. I'm a heterosexual.
And we still look at the gay men and go, God damn, what a shame. What a shame they won't. Are you done? I didn't want to interrupt. Is there more?
No.
Oh, okay.
Now, I want to, Now, Karyn,
Yes.
since you are a professional,
Yeah.
I am going to put up 4 tweets.
Okay.
And I want you to see if you can identify which one was done by a professional UFC personality.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So 4 tweets. Let's see if Karyn can identify which one was done by a professional
Unbelievable.
UFC.
One of the most electric heavyweight rounds you will see. Holy crap, that was just awesome. Thank you, Andre and Travis Brown. Arlovsky Brown Bananas. CEO of Oracle Larry Ellison. It's a crowd worth more than anyone in the building. Very cool.
All right, so so for the people listening, we have unbelievable, one of the most electric heavyweight rounds you'll see. Pretty good.
Didn't I just
pretty
read
good.
that out loud?
No, I kind of mumbled
I
it.
did.
And then, holy crap, that was just awesome.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah.
not really, words seem to escape that person.
Sure.
And then 28 bananas followed by
See,
9 holy shit
that one
emoticons.
is done by the professional fighter. They love their emoticons. I'm
Okay.
going with the one with all the
Okay.
emoticons.
And then this one, CEO of Oracle, Larry Ellison, is in the crowd, worth more than anyone in the building. Very cool. Not even quite sure what that person was looking at. All right, wait, can we have the reveal? Which one
It's
is
got to
done?
be the emoticons.
Which one?
Kenny!
Oh, but
Yeah,
look-
baby, because I was going to say, when you read that, I was like, this sounds exactly like something I would say.
So I guess what we're saying is
yes.
that even the professionals, when it's come.
Yes.
So you went, holy crap!
I
That
did.
was what.
I
that,
did.
That
That's
was your
how
Al Michaels moment.
Yes, it was holy crap because it was unbelievable, unbelievable to me. Yeah, Kenny loves his emoticons. I don't know how to get emoticons on Twitter. I don't know how to do that. I think he has. I don't know if I can do that from my.
I'm not even sure what Brian Stan's looking at.
Stan is looking for people to fund his Wounded Warriors project, and that's why he called him out. And John Anik, yes, unbelievable.
John Anik,
electric heavyweight pounds. You will see. Yes, I'm sorry. It was a holy crap moment
Holy
to
crap.
me.
That's okay.
It was.
Okay.
I'm
Very
sorry.
eloquent. And that education was from where? It was from where?
A very well liked place. Anyway, listen, for all of the things that we shot out there, we have something like 40 clips in total 50 something. tinyurl.com/UFC 187 vids. Now, there's a cool thing we got to do in addition to this. Conor McGregor, you ever heard of him? Young guy, kind of Irishy, sort of got a little bit of a
small and green.
Yeah, 140. Yeah. Anyway, I heard a shot of me wait at the Ultimate Fighter gym. So Conor McGregor had a workout. Obviously he's fighting at UFC 189. Right. Against Jose Aldo. They had they let us go over there. Conor was kind of working out with somebody. He brought his whole team over to Vegas, which is cool. So Conor was working out and then did a Q&A with some media. So it was closed off to the media. We actually streamed the whole thing live. So some people are like, well, how come the quality's not great? Well, because we streamed it live, like from the gym. Right. But literally, if you want to spend time with Conor, you can spend like 2 hours with him. He works out and everything, and it's fun to watch him working out. He's doing a little of this, a little of that, hitting the bag, throwing some spinning Fs, which I'll get to in a minute, and just really fun. And then he answers a bunch of questions. I'm telling you, the guy, he's a good guy. He's a cool guy, and they're not mutually exclusive. You can like Jose Aldo, and you can like Conor McGregor. It's
Karyn, there's a line. Make your choice now.
I can't. I'm walking that line. I like both these guys a lot. But so here you go. So here's Conor training and stuff. And like I say, we talked to him as well. So really, really fun. The dude is entertaining. And that's there. So moving forward to this coming weekend. UFC has got a show down in Guyana in Brazil. I will be working the shows for Fox. So we have a weigh-in show on Friday and pre-fight, all that good stuff on Saturday. So in the main event, Carlos Condit coming back, fighting after getting his knee messed up. He's taking on Thiago Alves, which is going to be great. So Carlos Condit is famous for that whole spinning thing, like quoting Nick Diaz saying, so now we're throwing spinning stuff, spinning ass. I'm not sure the world knows, Pete, how that quote even came to light.
Well, there's no better way to tell the world than to go to a podcast which has about 2,000 viewers.
That's right. So we're actually going to put this out on YouTube, isolated as well. But I know, and I got to go because I actually need to get to work. But I want people to hear this. No. Who phrased the question that got the most famous quote from a press conference
was
out?
Was it John Anik?
Let's take a listen, folks.
Congratulations, Carlos. This question is for you. What was Nick saying to you during the fight? How did you respond to that? What did you think of it?
Well, one of the things I threw a spinning back fist or something. He told me, so we're throwing spinning shit now, and I kind of just I had to crack a smile at that one and just told him, yep, I'm doing what yes, I am.
And so, was there any point ever though that it was getting under your skin to any degree, or inspiring you more?
No, I planned for that. I knew that I had to be mentally prepared, as well as physically prepared to fight Nick Diaz. He's a tough guy. I hit him with some hard shots, and he just kept coming. So that's something I had in my mindset, as well as the talking and the taunts and stuff. That I just needed to stay focused and continue to execute my game plan, no matter what he said or no matter how many punches he took from me. I couldn't let my focus stray.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one who asked the question to Carlos Condit. I'm the one that got the famous, now we're throwing spinning SS out. I just needed the world to know that, because now everybody says that phrase, and it's great, it's hilarious, and I love that it's out there.
That is perhaps the smallest footnote in history.
Oh, dude, you haven't been around the game that long.
I believe Jeopardy would have to go on for nearly 872,000 years before that would become a question.
We're throwing spinning. Everybody knows that. Everybody who knows MMA knows that.
Can you say crap? You can obviously say crap.
I know, but the phrase is the S word. I just
right. So you go spin.
Spinning.
So you can't say shit, but you can say crap.
Yeah.
Can you say bowel movement?
BM, I prefer.
BM, you prefer. Okay. Can you say feces?
Feces, yes. Fecal matter, feces.
Fecal matter. I think fecal matter actually sounds worse. Oh, so we're doing spinning fecal matter. I've often said that to the chimpanzees when I've looked at them in a zoo, and you've done spinning fecal matter.
At any rate, we're going to put that clip out on my YouTube channel.
Gotta love Nick Diaz.
I love Nick Diaz. Are you kidding me? I wish the dude would come back and fight.
Talking shit throughout the fight.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's great. I love Nick.
When Nick Diaz passes away, God forbid, and he passes away, and he has to go up and talk to whoever's up there.
Yeah.
I just want to be there for that moment. I just want to be there.
Nick's a
because no matter the answer, if the answer's not good for him, he's going to be talking shit all the way down.
I love it. Nick's a good dude. Okay, so we're going to be getting some more of these tips going up. Obviously, you want tips and techniques on MMA. www.mma.help. Frank Trigg now, folks, in the Hall of Fame. He is going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame along with Matt Hughes for his fight at UFC 52, Dana White's favorite fight ever. It was their rematch. So we actually get techniques from Frank, Vladimir Matashenko down there. I think Jake Ellenberger may be there this week when we go shoot some more of those. So always a good time down there. And like I said, I'll be working at Fox this weekend, Friday and Saturday for the Alves Condit fight. We have UFC tonight with the champ, Daniel Cormier. That's coming up tomorrow on Fox Sports 1. And and so we talked to Bisping too the other day, a little clip of Bisping talking about his fight that just got announced. We're busy, Pete. And
I got really nothing to do. If anyone's in Koreatown, want to stop by, say hi.
Tough talk tomorrow on Fox Sports Live after the Ultimate Fighter.
I must have something to do. I got to pick up my kids today. I got to prepare them breakfast
anymore because the tennis is done.
Yeah, I got to prepare them breakfast tomorrow, and a bunch of other stuff.
I gotta go. Where can people find you on Twitter, Pete?
MindNoogie.
M-I-N-D?
MindNoogie.
Okay, fine. On Twitter, I'm Karyn Bryant, Karyn You can find all our videos on youtube.com/Karyn Bryant. You can also find some of them on MMA Heat. You can like our MMA Heat page on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm KB Heat. And sorry, Pete, I gotta go. I gotta go get that paper. Yeah. So listen, thank you guys for watching, listening. It's been a lot of fun. See you next time.
Swipe right.